Hey everyone, happy Sunday night. It might just be me on here tonight, but I wanted to make sure that we still got this covered for anyone that was busy or traveling or out of town, that they still got this information. Oh, yay! Who's hiding in the dark?
Yeah, I'm driving.
Oh, hey, Wen. Okay, so I just started the recording, so I'm going to put you on mute real quick, and we will knock this out super fast.
Alrighty, ma'am.
Yay! Okay, good. So Wen's here, huzzah! All right, so this call we rearranged from the first round. So this is call number 3, and we're going to talk about goal setting. It was recommended that we talk about goal setting a little bit earlier in our training, which is totally fine by me, because as my team knows, I'm huge on goal setting. So goal setting for me, I directly related to the success I've had in my business. Writing your goals out, speaking them out into the universe, not just having like this idea of what you want to do, but actually writing them down makes you far more likely to actually achieve them than if you don't. So the first worksheet I want to share with you is a worksheet on SMART goal setting. So let me pop that open real quick for you guys to look at. I do need to apologize because last week my voice was a little scratchy and I'm not quite 100% yet, but I'm getting there. And we're having this meeting a little bit later tonight because a handful of us were down at a training in Atlanta and we only got back about a half hour ago. So I quickly changed into my comfy clothes and made a cup of tea, and we're gonna knock this out. All right, so here is the SMART goal setting handout. So SMART goals, it's not just, intelligent goals, but SMART is actually an acronym. So for your goals to be SMART, they need to be specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and time-based. So specific means that your goals need to be something specific. Not just, oh, I want to increase my business this year. Well, what does that mean? Does that mean your team building? Does that mean your party schedule? Does that mean your profit? So being able to be a little bit more specific on those. So same thing, like I want to pay down debt. Well, that's great. By how much? Do you want to put a number to that? So making your goals as specific as possible. And remember that the biggest reason people don't set goals or don't write them down is they're scared to fail. But these are your goals, so you're only going to let yourself down if you fail. But if you've made progress towards them, is that really failing? I don't think so. So setting that specific goal, super important. Measurable. So if I let's say I wanted to pay down debt. So just like in this example, if I had $12,000 that I needed to pay down, that's great. That's measurable. So if we have 12 months in a year and I decided to give mine a deadline, then maybe $1,000 a month would be realistic for that. It's simple, it's concrete. You could also do, I'm going to book 2 extra parties every single month and use that money to pay down your debt. So that way you're not hitting, or your goal isn't to hit down or that $12,000 mark, but it's to use the profits from 2 parties to pay down debt. So that's how you would make your goals a little bit more measurable. Achievable, make your goals reasonable. It'd be awesome if we could all just say we wanted to be a millionaire, but that might not be achievable right now. We'll all get there. But let's make sure that we're making them achievable so we can easily celebrate them when those goals actually happen. So if it's your first year in business and you want to do $50,000 in a year, awesome. Are you willing to put forth the effort to do that? That's something that you have to figure out. If you are like, oh, I'm going to hit board of directors my first year of business. Some people do, some people don't. So making sure it's achievable for the work that you're willing to put in is a good thing. Make your goals realistic. So don't just assume that you can do anything, because even though I know you can, because you guys are all superheroes, we need to make sure that it is a realistic goal. If you're like, yeah, I'm going to be a millionaire by the end of this year, awesome. It's probably not going to happen with your pure romance business. So make sure you're looking at all your options. Excuse me. And make sure that you're willing to adjust your goals. So if you're starting to get down to the wire and you realize that you're not quite where you wanted to be, make sure you're adjusting them to make sure that they're a little bit more realistic. And then time-based. Obviously, you need to have a deadline for your goals. Yeah, you can say, I want to be a millionaire by the time I'm 46. That's great, but we're going to work on something a little bit sooner. So when I talk about goals with my team, the longest I want you to think about is a year. So I want you to think about the year 2016 and what you want to accomplish. I definitely want you thinking about the future, but specifically when we're talking about what we want in our business, I'm usually working off the calendar year. So that's the kind of stuff that we'll share at team meetings is, I want to do this, this, and this by December 31st. So that's usually the deadline that I set when I'm making my goals that I'm going to share with the team. Making sure that you have a deadline, it creates that sense of urgency. You don't want to be that kid that procrastinates. If you're that kid in school where you knew that you had this paper due and you waited to the night before it's due to actually do it, are you going to get the best grade? Nah. Is it going to be well researched? Could you have done better if you actually prepared for it? Yeah. And it's the same with your goals. If you want to hit a title or a new position and you don't actually start working your business until October and your goal is December 31st, the likelihood of you hitting that goal is not as great as if you started now in January when you have 12 full months to go ahead and knock those out. You need to take action every single day towards your goals. If you haven't read Eat That Frog, do it. It's a great way for you to kind of take these goals down bite by bite. You don't have to try to swallow the whole entire thing at once, just a little by a little. Those baby steps and making sure you're plotting out what those baby steps are going to be is a great thing. And that also helps you monitor your progress on your goals. So that way you can break the bigger goal into smaller goals that you want to do this much in sales or hold this many parties this month. And then you can see, and that's one of the reasons why I have my big goal chart for our team on the back of my office door, is it breaks it down month by month, what I would like to see our team achieve. And then I've got the big thermometer going up the back or up this side so we can kind of see at a glance what it looks like. And then month by month, how much we did. So visualizing your plan of action is super important. So not only have we now decided what our goals are and we've written them down, but we're going to try to figure out and come up with a game plan of what it's going to look like. So remember that this is a little outdated. So senior consultants actually shop at a 50% buying discount now, which is even better. So all that money goes up by 5%. Hot dog. So if you are looking to earn $2,000 a month profit, then you're going to be doing anywhere between 8 and 12 parties a month. If you can't commit to working 8 to 12 parties a month, then you need to make sure you're adjusting your goal and you're making it a little bit more realistic. If you can only do a party a week, then you need to make sure that you're okay with bringing home an income ranging anywhere from $800 to $1,200. And that's a party once a week or 2 weekends a month. So just make sure that you have what that looks like, and we'll totally talk about how to break that down to come up with your party average. But one of the biggest things that I find, especially with new consultants, is for this business to be worth it, they need to make $2,000 extra a month. And they intend to work this business part-time. Now, all I have is my background in nonprofit. So me working in nonprofit, my paycheck was $2,000 a month. And that was working 40 to 60 hours a week. If I'm expecting Pure Romance to do that, yeah, I'm not going to be looking at doing another 40-hour work week, but it's definitely going to be a little bit more intense of a work flow than I would expect it to be as a part-time gig. So 8 to 12, that's 2 to 4 parties. I'm sorry, 2 to 6 parties. No, I'm seriously, you guys, 2 to 3 parties a week. So that would be another 10 to 15 hours a week, depending on travel time. So if you can do that on top of your 40 and bring home $4,000 a week, then that's going to be great. But you need to make sure you are building enough time into that, and you're being realistic about it. Boom. So that's the SMART goals worksheet. Jazz hands. It was such a good training in Atlanta today, you guys. So I'm really excited to be home safely, but my brain is going 10,000 miles an hour. I have so many notes to go through, but I'm going to do that tomorrow. Actually, I probably won't even do that till this weekend because I've got a lot more trainings. Another way to help kind of get your goals in order is to, let me see if I can pull this up for you guys real quick. Oh, nope, I can't. I can't show you this on the COO because we actually broke the COO tonight with everybody placing their new product orders, but you can put in your 12-month business plan on the COO. So if you go and just visualize this with me, I'm sorry, I can't share my screen with you, but it just looks like a hard hat. If you go to the COO and you click orders, and then next to it is my business, and you scroll almost all the way to the bottom, it'll say my business plan right down here. You're going to click on that and you're going to tell the COO how much money you want to make, how much profit you want to earn, and that's going to help you come up with how many calls to make, how you're going to be able to break that down month by month, so that you can better plan what your schedule is going to look like, because it's pulling national averages and it's pulling historical metrics that you as a new consultant might not understand that happens in the business. But if you're like, $2,000 every month, I need to do 10 parties a month. You might not know to build in, extra parties for Valentine's Day because the demand is off the charts. And you might not know to expect a ton of cancellations in May and December. So it's going to help kind of break that up. So your business, if you're doing it the right way, will never look the exact same month after month because it will fluctuate. It will ebb and flow. But if you are able to save when you make extra to cover those months when you come up a little bit short, then yeah, you'll still have that $2,000 a month. It might not just all happen at the same time. Okay, another sheet I wanted to share with you guys is the income goal sheet. So let me pull this up for you guys to see. Income goal sheet. Awesome. So this breaks it down, excuse me, by month. Should have got a cough drop. But you can also bump this up to a yearly goal sheet just by kind of increasing the math a little bit. So this is not just going to be income and financial, but I also want to challenge you all to consider other goals that you want to accomplish. Maybe it's I want to meet 5 new contacts a day, or I want to visit my grandma once a week, or I want to cook a good nutritious meal every other night. So whatever your goals are, excuse me, or I want to add a team member every week or 1 team member this month. I want you to write those down here in this 3 goals I'd like to achieve this month, because every month is going to look different. But also having these written down and put up in front of you helps hold you accountable. So here's where you're going to put your profit. So if, again, say you want to do 2,000, woo, goodness gracious, you want to earn $2,000 this month with your pure romance income. So that's your profit. So you're going to write 2,000 on this line. If you're a newer consultant, you're going to be buying at that 40% buying discount. Woo, that's not a percent. So that's right, 2,000. So your total sales needed, you are literally going to divide 2,000 by 0.4, because that's 40, right? No, 2,000 times 0.4, that's right. No, oh my gosh. No, it's 5,000. That's right. I had it right the first time. It is so late. So 40% of $5,000 is $2,000 if you don't see how I'm getting that. So if your average party sales as a new consultant, let's say you have an average of $400 in party sales. So then we're going to do some more math. We are going to divide 5,000 by 400, $5,400, and that says 12.5. So round that up, that's 13 parties you need to do a month. So maybe at a 40% discount, 13 parties as a part-time gig, that's like full-time range. That's something that I would typically do. So then you might need to either readjust this or readjust this, get your party averages up, or readjust that, make your buying discount bigger, get a promotion, promote to senior consultant, shop at that 50%. Woo, that is a lot nicer. Because don't forget, you're gonna have cancellations. So this 13, that's to guarantee you your 2,000. You should always book 2 extra parties a month just for cancellations. So really, you're gonna be looking at holding 15 parties a month, or at least booking 15 parties a month. And worst case, if they all hold and there's no cancellations, the hot damn, you just made some more money. So how many more parties do I need to hold in order to reach this goal from now until the next meeting? Well, since our next meeting is on Monday, you need to figure out a way to do 13 parties between now and Monday. I'm just kidding. But you can answer that for yourself. How are you going to get those parties? Are you going to pray for them? Are you going to wait until they fall into your lap? Are you going to wear your Pure Romance shirt and not talk to anybody? Or are you going to pick up the phone and call all your previous customers? Are you going to ask your neighbors? Are you going to talk to your friends? Are you going to ask the women who are already attending your parties? I know, it's a great idea, right? So I want you to ask yourself, have you truly been asking everyone at your parties if they're interested in actually hosting a party? One of the great things that we learned today, and they actually have a great printout that you could put up in your ordering room, and it was something like, if I fail to ask you these 3 questions, you get a free vibrating toy. And it was, do you want to have a party? Do you want to do what I do? Do you have a referral for me? So that's a great way to help remind yourself to be asking everybody. And once you make it a habit, you won't need that reminder anymore. But the more free stuff you give away when you forget, you'll remember to ask those questions real quick. But don't prejudge anybody. You want to always be asking, because you never know if they're not able to have a party now. They might call you next month, or they might have a best friend who's always wanted to be at a party like this, and that ends up being an amazing party. Ask yourself if you've been following up and making phone calls after your parties. That's huge. Are you reaching out to your VIP customers, those who spend a lot of money, making sure their products all work? Because the last thing you want is for them to have a product that they're not clear on the instructions of, or maybe it's broken. And then when they think about you, they're unhappy because they feel like they got a bad product. But they don't like confrontation. They're not going to call you. So by you following up with them to thank them for their purchase, check on their purchases, it also gives you a way to talk to them and say, hey, I know that you were talking about hosting a party and you were interested. Were you able to look at your calendar? Did you talk to any of your friends? Did you come up with a few dates that worked for you? It's a perfect lead-in. And then I want you to challenge yourself to think about 2 things that you can do to increase your business right now. Is it picking up the phone? Is it going to meetings? Is it introducing yourself to 5 new people a day? I don't know what that's going to be for you. But these are all things, excuse me, that I would ask you to consider when you print out this monthly goal sheet. Having these conversations with yourself, they're never fun, but they are extremely necessary, because you need to remember you're a business owner now. You're solely responsible for your success. So if you're not where you want to be, who's responsible for changing that? That's you, right? Awesome. All right, so this sheet is called Goals versus Wishful Thinking, and I believe I got this from Heather Pillow. Maybe? Oh, I can't even remember. It's too late. You guys know that. Okay. So goals versus wishful thinking. It's just kind of good to make sure that you, again, is going back to that SMART analogy, specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, time-based. I'm not going to insult your intelligence by reading this to you. Also, I would surely lose my voice. But I want you guys to all read this. So again, recap on the SMART goals, ask who, what, when, where, why. You do have a happy little assignment. And I want you to think big, like, where do you see your Pure Romance business in 5 years? What do you want this, how do you want this opportunity to change your life? What do you want to accomplish in the next 24 hours, and the next month, and the next quarter, and the next year? What do you want to do before your next birthday? I want you to think about all those kind of things, and not just Pure Romance related, but in your life. And kind of have a plan of action, because when we get together at our team meeting here next Monday, we're going to be talking a lot about goals. And I expect you guys to be able to clearly communicate your goals to myself and the team, and also be able to communicate those in the form of a dream board. Dream boards are something that we do at the beginning of every single year to help kind of visualize what we hope to accomplish, and things that will inspire us and keep us motivated, excuse me, all year. And affirmations are a good thing too. So writing down affirmations and then saying them daily, you'll start to believe it. So it's just like if someone told you your whole entire life that you were no good, you'd start to believe it. But if you tell yourself every single day that you deserve financial freedom, or you are going to sell $50,000 worth of inventory this year, once you say it enough, it becomes true, because you're going to be motivated to work. You're not just going to sit and wait. You're going to help make that affirmation and that mantra come true. So this is a happy 3-page worksheet to kind of help you just think about your goals, kind of get some of those juices flowing, and making sure they're actual goals versus crazy dreams. I'm so sorry about the coughing, guys. I love you. Thanks for putting up with me. This is why we don't do it in person. At least we can still get you guys trained, even if I've got the cough. Blah. All right, let me take another swig. Okay, so next we're going to talk about how you achieve your goals. So I talked about dream boards, having that visual in front of you on a daily basis. It's going to remind you of what you wanted for the year. It's going to remind you like what you set out at the beginning of the year ready to accomplish. And it's really cool when you can look at your dream board and be like, check, check, check. One of the things that we do, and it's not specific, and it's definitely not Pure Romance specific. Let me go grab mine. It's way back over here. I'm glad you guys can't see the floor of my office because it's very dirty right now. It's an obstacle course. But we do these savings bottles. These are just wine bottles. I got a big one because those who know me know that I like to drink a lot of wine. And then I just collaged it just like I would a dream board. I cut out stuff from a magazine that says, what will you do with your savings? Embrace change. That's kind of like a play on words, like lose change. Your future, start simple. And then I made a goal to put $20 a week in here. And I didn't have a specific amount that I was saving for, and I didn't have a deadline to hit. It's just when I feel that I'm ready, I will put this happy little bottle in a pillowcase or a plastic bag, beat the crap out of a hanger or a hammer, and then count my riches. And then I will use that money to help achieve the goal that I've set. So what I'm specifically saving for now, and I've decided, I wasn't quite sure when I started it, but I wanted to get in the habit of saving, is I have a goal, and it's been on my dream board now for it's been on there for the past 3 years that I've been doing a dream board, and I'm sure it'll be on this year's as well. Carrie, and all the books that I've got, and all the books that are still in the attic, I'm gonna need a whole wall of this. So this bookcase is not doing its job. So that's kind of my thought for what I'm going to have someone to answer to and help hold you accountable. So if your goal was, by the end of this month, you want to have saved $100 in your wine bottle, your accountability buddy will say, oh my gosh, hey, prepare to share your goals with the team, be it personal. I'd love to focus on the professional, but we also want to know what you as a regular human being and not just an awesome pure romance consultant, what you hope to achieve this year in your personal life. I know my personal goals are paid for with pure romance money. So I want to have a successful business so I can meet the stuff that I want to do when I'm not working and when I'm not being PR by Megan. If you haven't already, I do want to encourage you guys to open up a separate small business checking account so you can run all your finances through a separate checking account, and that way they're not commingled and you don't lose track of any money that is for your business. I'd encourage you guys, if you haven't already, to create a savings bottle and share it on the team page, or bring it with you to our meeting on Monday so you can decorate it however you want. I know some people went crazy with glitter, some people do stickers, some people do countdowns. If you've seen those memes that are floating around, they always happen at the beginning of the year, where you just save $1 for the first week and $2 for the second week, all the way up to $52 for the 52nd week of the year. And then by the end of the year, I think it's over $2,000 that you'll end up saving. So however you want to decorate it, but this is a great way just to kind of have a visual of, and a reminder. And if you just have rando money, stick it in there and then you can't get it out. Believe me, I've tried. Especially when I keep thinking there's mine in here, but that's not coming out, which is a good thing. And if you haven't already, I'd love for you to complete your 12-month business plan on the COO. And again, I apologize that I can't show you where that is, but if you go under my business and then scroll down, it'll say my business plan or 12-month business plan or something like that. As soon as you click on that, you can fill it out, and then there'll be a button where you can say, send a copy to my sponsor. That's me. I want you to do that, and I want to see what your goals are. Now remember, you're not letting anybody down if you don't hit your goals except for yourself. So I'm not going to sit there at the end of the year and be like, you were $200 away from your goal. That's not my style. Y'all know that. But it'll at least give you something to strive for. So in addition to the chart that's always on the back of my door, we'll have our sales thermometers and recruiting hearts that you can fill in throughout the year. So just plan to be at our meeting on Monday if you need a little bit more loving when it comes to goal setting, or if you just need to get some clarification on what is an appropriate goal to set for yourself in your business. I have a whole lot of experience with that. Ooh, one of the things I did want to show you, this is actually pretty timely. So as most of you guys know, I do have a blog, and I love my blog. I've had a blog since I started in the business, and honestly, the reason that I started my blog was to document what it was going to be like starting a pure romance business. This might sound silly, but I wanted to do some product testing, and as a consultant, you know, we don't really want to share all of our deepest, darkest secrets at our parties and be like, oh my God, when I use this product, just because it's not really professional. But this gave me a place to do some product reviews. I also have my product testers who are going to be getting hit up pretty soon with all the new products that we've got coming out. My product testers have their product reviews on it, but also where I can track my progress. So there's lots of fun stuff on my blog. But I wanted to share with you real quick what that looks like. So my blog is located at prbymegan.wordpress.com. The most recent post, which will probably get bumped in the next day or two because of the new products, but you can always find it over here where it says check out the most recent posts, is my fiscal year 2016 goals. You guys already know that I'm a big fat nerd, so you know that I track my stuff like cray. I have a spreadsheet like nobody's business. And of course, when you put all your junk in a spreadsheet, you can create charts. So there's a ton of charts in this blog post too. Get excited. So every year I do this. I lay out my personal business goals, like what do I want to achieve in my PR business? And it's my sales goals, it's my team building goals, it's if I want to hit a level or if I want a board position, how many parties I'd like to hold. This year, I'd really love to see my override crest $1,000 on a monthly basis. That would really help with some of the bills that we're going on. And I think it's doable because I've got amazing team members and they're all excited to start building their businesses. And the more that they're building their businesses and really committing to it and sharing the opportunity, the more I'm going to be rewarded with a higher override, and they're going to get a bigger override. So everybody wins. We've got a great training program online that I'd love to accomplish. This has been on my goal board for years, but I'm going to make this happen this year. I'd really love to win the Cancun incentive. There's a really awesome camp for entrepreneurs in May out in California that I'd love to attend. I want to do another road trip this year for my business. I had great response last year and people are already asking when I'm coming back. I want to do 2 kick-ass flash sales, do a great anniversary celebration, and of course my office that I told you guys about. Now I also have laid out my team goals on here. My team, excuse me, which one is a part of, and which hopefully is all you guys that are watching. And if there's strangers watching, hello, would you like to join my team? But I do have goals for them and I want to make sure that they know about it. So this isn't a public forum. We talk about our team goals at every meeting. And these aren't just kind of pulled out of thin air. This is all stuff that is trackable. And I just kind of predict where we're going to go after previous years and with the significant growth I know we're going to see in 2016. Because I know my girls are ready to hit the next level. I don't want that to sound cheesy, but I know they're ready. I know they're hungry for it. So I'm learning how to be a better consultant to be able to steer them down that path and help them achieve their goals. Because I've been able to hit a lot of mine. I need to make sure that they're doing the same thing because they deserve nothing but the best. So our group retail, we're going to hit $250,000 this year. My first line is going to recruit at least 25 new active consultants. I hope that, and those would be on my second line. I hope that my second line recruits some people and they would be on my third line because we deserve to have a big fat team. And that will help cover a lot of the parties that not everyone's able to cover. I want all of my active consultants to complete Party School, which is our online training program where you earn points that you can trade in for PR gear and swag. And it's training where I'm not involved, so they don't have to listen to me talk. So they should all be doing that. Yeah. I want 10% of my team promoting to senior consultant level. So what that means is that they've brought 3 new consultants onto their first downline. That's when they bump up to that 50% buying discount. That's really where you start to see a big difference in your income. And I know for all my girls who are motivated by money and they got into this business to better their financial standing, that's where they really need to focus their energy on getting to. And it's sharing the opportunity, it's keeping up sales. But I really want to help celebrate them, promote to that level. I know when I earned my 50% buying discount, that's when I could finally just go, and it wasn't like, oh, you're done, stop everything. It was, now my purse strings are not so tight. Now I can sit back and relax a little bit more. I can enjoy this process more. And I'm not so like, do I have enough money to live? So that senior consultant level is what's up. So we're going to get 10% of the team. So 10% of my team right now would be 2 consultants. So I think that's doable. I don't know which of you that will be watching this it's going to be. I'd love for you to let me know, but I want at least 2 of you guys. Again, by the end of the year, I'm hoping we're closer to 50 people, so that's 5. I made room on my goal chart for there to be 12 of you. If 12 of you promote to senior consultant, I will go absolutely crazy with excitement, and who knows what I'll give away. You guys know I'll probably give something awesome away. All right, excuse me. Attendance at World Conference and National Training, I'd love for half the team to be able to show. Again, that's 10 people. That's 10 people between 2 awesome events. I think it's totally doable, especially those who are like, oh, this is what I want to do to make money. You need to be at these events. I want 75% attendance rate at team meetings and local corporate trainings. So meetings at my house and the corporate trainings like I went to today at the end of the year, 75%. This should be a 75% attendance rate. I had 2 girls with me today. I think I have 2 girls going tomorrow. Couple on Tuesday, at least one on Wednesday, maybe one next week when they come to Charleston. So already we're off to a good start. When I give away quarterly incentives, I want all the people who win to show up. If I'm going to pay for you to go do something, it'd be cool if you were there. Because that's a time that I'd love to spend with you and celebrate your success. So you've won this incentive by being awesome. Let me celebrate you and pay for it. When we have date nights and incentives, I'd love for at least 75% of the rest of the team to join us on that. So even if it's like a competition and you didn't win, that doesn't mean that you can't go. We still want you there. I'm just not going to pick up your tab. But it's a great chance for us to bond and hang out and kind of build a sisterhood and talk with each other. Sorry. Okay. So our motto this year is never walk alone. So what that means is all of my team members need to be bringing potential new recruits with them to team meetings, to parties. Have them shadow your parties, to the corporate trainings that are open to the public. Bring someone. And then I would love to be able to hold one amazing opportunity night for my team so that they can help grow their teams. So that's basically like a recruiting event. So when we have a great kit sale like we did in December, where I was able to sign up 5 girls over the span of 2 days, and the kits sold out so friggin' quick. And there's another one happening this coming weekend, so get ready. But I want to do an event around that where we can get everybody who's thought about joining the team together in one spot, share some testimony, have some champagne, and kind of just help grow the team. I think that would be a really fun event. I got some personal stuff on here, but here's the charts. Boom. So this is my personal retail, and this is all 5 years of my history. So you'll see my 5 years actually start in May. That first year, that's when I started, May of 2011. I'm not going to bore you with all these because you can look at them, but this is what I love when it comes to statistics. So my personal party average, you can see months in different years, like in June and November of 2015, this year. I made an average of $400 a party. That's pretty cool. Last year in December, it was about $450, just shy of $450. Those are my flash sale months too, so that kind of factors into it as well. But there's months where you can see that I was earning over $300 a party. I'd love to get this year's numbers well above 300 every single month. That'd be amazing. You can see how my party salary has gone up every single year, and I attribute that to the classes and the trainings that I go to. So right now my average for 2015 was about 260, 275-ish. But that's what I take home per party-ish average throughout the whole course of the year. You could see that in 2012 and 2013, it was hovering right at $200, maybe probably about like $210 over here in 2014. But look at 2011, I made $100 a party. So there's plenty room to grow. I hope it's all up here in 2016. That'd be great. This tells you how many parties I hold on an average monthly basis. I know the numbers on here are so small. But you can see, like, this is where 10 is. 10 is kind of my happy line. So we got 8, 10, 12. I usually do an average between 8 and 12. So 10 is that happy average. You can see in December, it's always shy. And in May, it's always shy. And this year in August, well, in previous years, this year I did pretty well in August. But that's just, 5 years. I've got this information to track it. I hate this chart. This is when people cancel on me. When people are like, yeah, I'm going to do a party. And then the day before while I'm on my way there, they're like, just kidding. I forgot to invite people. So this is when people cancel their parties. I hate that, but I track it because I want to be able to prepare. I'm booking more parties in this first quarter of the year because it's busy season, but that also means I'm going to have more parties cancel. It sucks. So there's definitely ways to predict that and really work with your hostesses to make sure that that doesn't happen. These are the months that I add people, like how many people on average I add per month. So that's when I'm working with my recruits. and talking to them, and they're like, yes, I totally want to join the team. So you can see that in February of 2014 and December of 2015, I added 5 girls in those 2 months alone. That was awesome. Most of the time it's like a girl here and there, maybe 2, but usually about at least 1 a month, or at least 1 a month almost this year. I think October I didn't bring any on. Oh well, sad October. And then you can see by year who, like, when I've added people. So it was steady, and then I was 2 people short this past year. So it didn't keep going up, but we're going to change that for next year. That's okay, because I still hit my goal. Holla. My override check. I know this is probably boring for some of you guys right now, but this is really fun for me to see, especially knowing that, I've been in the business 5 years. I have all these people that are like, oh my God, I could never do what you do. Yeah, you could, because I started out just like everybody else. So I didn't get any override checks in 2011. So my whole entire first year of business, which was really 7 months, I didn't earn any money off of my downline. Now, I think at the highest point that year, I had 3 people in my downline, and I didn't earn any money. At that point, they were paying out, if your override check was less than like $50, or maybe even been $25, that you got it in free product credit. So I didn't get any cash that year. That's cool. But then you can see in 2012, I never earned more than $100 on my override check. In 2013, started earning, for the most part, a little over 100, I would say on average. Well, you guys will see the average in a minute. 2014, it went a little crazy. Now, it went a little crazy because I was adding more people to my team. So those were the years I added more people. So more people on my team meant they're selling more, and I'm earning more money off of them. And then you can see last year was nice. Last year, almost every single month was above the previous year, with the exception of July and May, which for me is normal because those are quieter months for me. Now here's my average monthly override. This is per month, so it's not going to shoot up like that. This is going to show you the flow of the business. These are the months that are quiet. People are on vacation. This is the month where everybody is celebrating every holiday. So I know I'm going to make some good money in the beginning of the year. It's going to kind of taper off. And this is, again, stuff I earn from my team. But then it's going to build back up, and then it goes away. And that's okay. But it's nice to be able to see that. So when I'm looking at my budget and it's like, okay, so I know in May I'm going to have slow parties and I'm going to have a slow override. So let me bank this override check that I'm earning in April to help cover my bills. Boop. But then look at that, that's good. My override per year, I got nothing. I got like $200. I had over $1,000 in 2013. I had just about $4,000 2014. 2015, I earned almost $6,000 in my override check. And this year I'm going to earn like $1 billion. So it's going to be awesome. Okay, and this is where Wen probably actually wants to see, because this is our team. So group sales, retail sales by month. You can see again, 2015, the blue line is high on a lot of these because we're picking up our sales numbers. We have more people on our team. So collectively, they're doing a lot more than like my 3 people were in 2012. Or my like 1 person was in 2011. That's awesome. Again, group sales by years, steady increase. I am expecting that to always be the case. So don't let me down. This is when my first line adds people to the team. So these are all the women that have been added to my second or third lines throughout the course. Well, no, this is my second line throughout the course of my business. So you can see I haven't had a ton of people on my second line. And I think right now I've got 2. So I'd really like to see that increase. I think that right now we're really top heavy. We need to start fluffing at the bottom so we have more of a support system. But I love seeing, again, the team building by year. It was steady. I think my first line recruited 1 person each in 2011 and 2012. Then my first line recruited 3 people in 2013. My first line recruited 8 people in 2014 and 10 people in 2015. So again, steadily growing, good stuff. So I know that's a lot. You guys can totally click on these and make them bigger and read them more or ask me questions about them at the meeting. But this is just another way that I always track my goals. And what's cool is that you can go back and see previous years, because I do a blog post about this every single year, like what I want my goals for this year to be. And what last year looked like, or the history of my business looked like, so that you could better see where I pull these numbers from. So with that, that's pretty much the end of this conference call. What I'm going to do real quick is unmute Wen, since we've got a couple minutes left, honey. And then if you've got any questions, I'd be happy to answer them real quick until the recording cuts off. So thank you to everyone who's going to be watching this on YouTube. I know it's late tonight, for joining us on call 3 where we talked about goal setting. But
Can you hear me?
Thank you for being here. Did you have any questions?
Can you hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Love the night.
Hooray!
More information out of it this time than I did the last time.
Oh, yay.
So I'm pretty.
I love hearing that. Oh, good. Well, I'm excited to see, I know you've been working on your dream board for a while, so I'm excited to see that at our meeting on Monday and see how you're.
And then I even made a clipboard.
Yay! I love it. I love it. I love craft night too. I mean, can't get enough craft night. Well, do you have any questions about goal setting? I know you've got a pretty good handle on it. I know that, oh, I got to brag about you today too.
No,
So in Atlanta. People are like,
no, I'm smart.
are you still there?
Yeah,
There you are.
I got a pretty good handle on it.
Okay, good. Awesome. Well, then I'm going to stop this recording, and then you and I can hang out real quick without it being all over YouTube.